This is Unit 8, M2. So, in terms of health and safety in my event, risk assessment shall be took out. And so, if a risk assessment wasn't took out, then this increases the chance of injury for our participants. So, it is crucial that we do this. In our risk assessments, there won't be much at risk. However, we will check the participants' rooms, for example, for wires connecting up to the TV and to their Xbox. Make sure they're all tidy and doesn't cause trip hazards for the participants. And also check for there's no live wires, so it reduces the chance of the unlikely event of a electric shock. Also, the distance they are from the screen. This is important because this causes a high temperature, dehydration, and so on. So it's important to do this so they don't become unwell during the tournament. And also, depending on their progress, some will have longer, like near the screen, some won't. So it's important to have drinks breaks in our tournaments. This reduces the risk. Next is first aid. First aid isn't really needed in our tournament. However, if someone was to get a minor injury, then a first aider could be rung to give advice on the correct treatment to have. Next is regulation, and if regulations weren't put in place, then people would be more at a chance of injury. So we have set our own regulations that all participants must follow. For example, the seat that they must have a seat which that can keep their back straight, so they have the correct so they have a good posture during the tournament. This is important because if they're there for a long amount of time, then this can cause back pain in the future. And also, breaks will be decided by us when they are. So we give our participants a long enough break to rehydrate and just cool off for a bit, because when they're playing the tournament, they might become hot and need a break. And also, we'll also give a recommendation for how much fluid they should have on board, how much they should consume to stay alright during the tournament. Next is child protection and safeguarding. So if child protection and safeguarding wasn't looked after in our tournament, then this could cause them to be at risk. For example, if DBS checks weren't taken out, then this could cause children to be vulnerable, and this could cause bad stuff to happen to them if it's not looking after. Also, parental consent is also crucial to have from people beneath the age of 18. So 16, 17-year-olds would have to have parental consent to join our tournament, so that they're kept safe and parents are alright with this. Also, finally, emergency contact details will also be given to us from parents to ensure that if an injury was to happen, they know, and if they go away or if they lose connection during the tournament, and they're not responding to us, then we can let them know that they're not, and we can resolve the situation. Next is registers. Now, registers is needed to know if the schedule of the tournament can continue as planned. So without a register, we'll be unaware if a participant can't make the event or is having troubles. So we can modify, adapt our tournament to ensure that everyone can make it. Next is feasibility. Now, this is how easy it could be. For this, it is very easy to do because there's no required skill level, for example. So it's open to anyone to play. And also only requires an internet connection, Xbox One with Xbox Live, and FIFA. So it's very easy to do, and yeah, it can be done very easily. Next is contingency planning. This is what would happen if we couldn't do the tournament and how we'd resolve it. So without this, participants would become confused on what would happen if the tournament could be run, or when it would then be played, and what would happen, so the procedures. So if the weather conditions had an impact on the planning of the tournament, then the tournament would just come postponed or delayed depending on the severity of it. And also emergency contact details will be rang to ensure that no participants are on the console during this time, as this could cause an injury. And if a participant is having Wi-Fi trouble and we don't know about this, and they go off the tournament and we don't know where they are while they're supposed to be with us, then this can cause trouble, and emergency contact details shall be run to ensure that they are safe and we know where they are. Yeah, thank you.